Congressman Mark Meadows says FBI agents might have altered witness reports, what the Bureau calls 302s.
There is growing evidence that 302s were edited and changed. It is suggested that they were changed to either prosecute or not prosecute individuals, and that is very troubling.
During yesterday's House hearing, DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz replied that he may have information confirming that, and he was investigating it. If the FBI agents committed crimes by altering evidence, the consequences would be enormous. Let's discuss that with former FBI National Spokesperson John Iannarelli and former U.S. Attorney Guy Lewis. John, let's start with you. Have you ever heard of anything like this before?
Absolutely not. There is no way to alter a document without consequences. That's very, very basic in the rules of the FBI, even to the point if I put the incorrect date on a report, I would do a separate 302 to reflect I mistakenly put the incorrect date. There's no changing the facts of anything.
I want to talk to Guy about this as well. I think it's important to listen to part of the exchange from yesterday when Meadows was questioning Horowitz, again, about the identity of these individuals whose names were not used in this report. Let's watch.
You said, I think I'm correct, that they did not want that divulged because they actually worked in counterintelligence. Is that correct?
That's what we were told by the FBI.
Those two attorneys, do they not work for Trish Anderson?
Those two attorneys work in the Office of General Counsel.
Yeah, and so would one of those attorneys be Sally Moyer?
I'm going to defer to what the FBI.
But they don't work in counterintelligence. I mean, if that's the reason the FBI is giving, they're giving you false information because they work for the General Counsel.
Guy, what's going on here? Is this could this be potentially criminal wrongdoing on the part of the FBI for not mislabeling, improperly identifying the general identity of these actors in this report? And why do we have to keep their names secret? To me, if they're working for the General Counsel, why are we keeping their names secret?
Laura, it makes no sense, and it is a big deal. It truly is. John's 100% right in the sense that you don't go in and start doctoring, changing reports, 302s. The 302, the report that the FBI uses, is meant to take down investigation, things that are happening, activities of the investigation, and also when you sit there and interview, like when they were interviewing Secretary Clinton, they would have generated one 302 as a result of the interview. Now, they can't go back and make changes, and if they've lied about it to the OIG, that in and of itself is a criminal offense subject to prosecution. It's very, very serious business.
Well, you worked with both Christopher Wray and Michael Horowitz, Guy. So, I mean, do these guys take this seriously? I mean, Horowitz kind of seemed to want to defer on naming one of the individuals. He wouldn't confirm or deny it was this Sally Moyer. But Christopher Wray was like, oh, none of this impacts the credibility of the Bureau. He was coming out and defending the Bureau about the overall report the other day. But, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this can't stand, can it?
Laura, I understand Chris, Director Wray, defending the Bureau. There's a lot of great women and men out there that are just working their hearts out to keep us safe day in and day out. But when you look at what happened here, the very top of this really elite law enforcement agency, the director, the assistant director, who's now been referred to prosecution, the director who's been fired, some would say in disgrace, the deputy assistant director was led out of the building and walked and escorted out of the building. And then you look at the lawyers and how Mike Horowitz, the IG, who is a tough nut, he is a hard-nosed prosecutor, and I believe truly that he's going to get to the bottom of this. But when you look at the top of the organization,
right.
I got to tell you, Laura, it's very, very, very troubling.
Yeah, John, the fish rots from the head. Is that the saying? I think the head down, or I mean, the head of the fish is rotten, the fish is dead, or the fish is rotten. I don't know, but it seems to me that you can't come out and say after this IG report, oh, the Bureau stands on its credibility and the great men. Of course, there are great men and women. But two of the most important investigations of the last 5-10 years, Hillary email investigation and the Trump-Russia investigation. Hillary email investigation had real problems. Now it looks like they may have altered the documents.
Well, what I would suggest to Director Wray, I think he's doing the right thing in trying to clean house of the problems that existed under his predecessor. In the goodwill speech to the troops, it's important to keep the morale up because the vast majority of these agents and support personnel are doing a great job. But as far as talking to the general public, the public wants to have confidence in the FBI. If I could make any suggestions to the director, it's time to face the public directly and say, mistakes were made. I'm working at cleaning up the mistakes so that you can have confidence. Not say everything's fine, because right now it isn't. Public perception is bad.
And Guy, that's a great point. I mean, you want to see him mad. You want to see Chris Wray really upset. Like, this can't be. We have great people. It's not going to happen on my watch. This is ridiculous. We get to the bottom of it. I think that's a great point, John. But Guy, on this issue of extracting texts, why is it that the DOJ will not get these text messages to members of Congress and obviously to the OIG in a timely fashion? They had to go to the Department of Defense, the Inspector General's office, had to go there to get the text. What's that about?
Laura, there's no excuse for it, really. I mean, you can raise objections, you can raise these kind of broad, hey, it's a matter under investigation. But what this does, in my judgment, having done this for 30-plus years and tried some, some fairly significant cases, it taints everything. I mean, you can't come out and say, look, I'm conducting this investigation, the Russia investigation. I've conducted this investigation, the Clinton investigation, and I've closed it out. I got to tell you, I have no faith right now in what went on in the Clinton case and what's going on in the Russia case. Truly, I don't, because of exactly what you're talking about.
Fantastic segment and panel. Thank you so much to both of you, both highly experienced people with actual knowledge about how this type of process works. Really important for the developments we brought to you tonight. And up next...